So these are the woods outside of Kramatorsk, and they are preparing new waves of soldiers, and they have about 4 weeks to do that training. The training, preparing for what Russia has been doing, for what Russia's trying to take. Again, they're trying to take the city right behind us here in Kramatorsk. They're desperate before there's any kind of frontline freezing. And that's why in the forests all around Ukraine like this, men and women are getting ready for more Russian assaults.
I've come to this region because the Russians are pushing as hard as they can here. Convoys of equipment have been dragged from Sumy and Kherson hundreds of kilometers away, funneled into this corner of the Donbas. This is what soldiers here are rehearsing for, war at breakneck speed. Recently, the Russians tried to push through this sector, an assault designed to encircle Dobrobylia. It was cut off, severed by different units, one of which I spoke to exclusively in this video, who broke that momentum before it could swallow another town. But that was just one attack, and there will be more. For 6 months, this has been Putin's focus. Strip after strip of land. He's gambling that he can seize as much as possible before the money dries up, before the ground freezes, or before political winds change. And that gamble runs straight through here. To show how much things have changed, I drove down this highway to Pakrovsk only in December.
This area will likely, by the time you're watching this, be taken by the Russians because they're advancing here very fast.
Now it's completely cut. And that's why I've come back to show how troops are preparing and what they think is going to happen next. So this forest is not just a training ground, it's a rehearsal for the next battle. As soon as we arrive, we hear a drone hovering above.
Interesting. What would they do? What is that?
That's a drone, but
We're sure that's...
you're never 100% sure. But nevertheless, always when you hear drones, we figure out it's ours, yeah, and we always spread out if it's possible. It's just the spotters, basically. Even if it's Russian, it's just the spotters.
Okay.
The small one.
He told us even if it was a Russian drone, it doesn't make a difference because the Russians have already spotted the training ground, and it was only a matter of time before they hit it.
Horse is already, like, he was already, how to say, spotted. So,
Oh, really?
yeah.
Spotted?
Like they know it's a polygon.
The Russians?
Yeah.
Oh.
100%.
So it's just a matter of time?
Everything in this region is a matter of time.
These guys are from the Alcatraz Battalion, part of the 93rd Mechanized Brigade. They're keen to tell me about how the American government is being misled by Putin.
Путін – брехлива свиня. І я впевнений, що його дезінформують так само. І йому вірити – це помилка. Це помилка. І Дональд Трамп має це розуміти. Як би він не розказував, який він хороший і так далі, він все одно підбирається і по максимуму хоче забрати. Йому віддаш одне, він забере інше. Розумієте? Треба боротися.
In just a few weeks, these guys will be storming Russian positions. I ask them why they're fighting.
Я не могу смотреть, как наши дома разрушаются, как наши дети погибают, семьи рушатся. Поэтому я пошел защищать свою Украину, чтобы не было вот этих российских прилетов.
Other soldiers witnessed the horrors under Russian occupation, and that is why they volunteered to fight.
Когда, то бишь, выехали люди, они брали гранаты, кидали в подвал, где находились жінки и дети. Либо подпаливали скаты, обливали бензином, скаты подпаливали, подпирали палкой и закидывали туда скат. И насиловали женщину, она ему годится в матери, ей там 60 или 70 лет, и ее изнасиловали женщину.
As we drive to our next location, we pass through Kramatorsk. The Russians have hit this city every single day, and on almost every single street, there's destruction. Validol is the commander of the Alcatraz Battalion. He helped fight back the recent Russian assault in Dobrobylia.
What is the situation like there right now?
И мы смогли добиться того, что отрезали часть прорвавшихся войск противника. Сейчас продолжаются зачистки, то есть ликвидация, соответственно, при возможности мы берем в плен.
I ask him why Russians are pushing harder in the Eastern Front now than ever.
Сейчас ситуация развивается настолько стремительно, и россияне, понимая, что они уже использовали очень много ресурса, он у них не бесконечный. Работают санкции, работают позиции лидеров европейских стран. Крайние переговоры с Трампом на Аляске тоже не принесли нужный результат России. И они сейчас отчаянно пытаются максимально захватить территорию, чтобы потом диктовать условия о приостановлении боевых действий на тех позициях, которые они зашли.
We drive from Kramatorsk to Alexandrivka to meet another soldier that's been fighting in the Pokrovsk direction. This road goes straight past where the Russians are encircled. April, a combat medic who's driving us, shows us the smokestacks exactly where the Russians are.
We see how far away that is. Russians infiltrated this area and we don't know where they are anymore.
Russian tanks get taken out by Ukrainian FPVs in seconds, so they've started doing constant motorcycle assaults in this region, and it makes the situation very difficult for Ukrainians to know where the Russians are. We're meeting a soldier named Dimko. He's been fighting in the Pokrovsk direction and tells us exactly how it is.
For what we see is that most of Russian infantry is being deleted on the way in. And some of the groups are actually getting into the actual fighting line or fighting zone, as we call it now. And they are the ones that cause a lot of trouble. So they paid enormous price with their people, I guess. From what we see is that they are probing the soil, how do you say it? They're trying if it works, and if it does, then they just advance in that area. So basically, I think that's it. In this area, it worked well.
They use the same sort of tactics in Kherson as well, trying to cross the water.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It's just like constant waves.
Yeah.
As we head back towards Kramatorsk, we see smokestacks in the distance. April tells us it looks like the training ground we filmed at this morning, where her unit is based.
It's black billowing smoke. I have to go. It is my absolute 100% duty to go to make sure that my soldiers are okay in this moment. I have no choice. That's just it.
What is the worst case scenario?
They just sent in a missile or a cluster bomb or something into my soldiers, and we have mass casualties. Do either of you drive?
I do.
The biggest issue is we'll be worrying about double, triple taps. And the most immediate thing is to assess the wounded, get the wounded as far away from that situation as possible. I know where that is, and it couldn't be anywhere else, but whether or not that is the location where my guys specifically are, I don't know.
We get to the training ground and realize everyone is okay. Whatever hit was somewhere further in the distance. But this moment shows just how tense everything is. All across this region, soldiers like April are always prepared for the worst case scenario. We head back to where April lives, on the outskirts of Kramatorsk.
How would you describe where we went today and what we saw with those smokestacks? Like
Going to Alexandrivka, I mean, these are very normal things for us here, and that is the part that sucks, because those normal points are starting to be further and further back. And I'm always like, in my posts and fundraising and things like this, I'm trying to explain to civilians in a way that's like, you know, still in line with what I can say militarily wise and stuff like that like it's so urgent here. But it's public out now that like we have 25% left that we control of this oblast. We are at like our last stand to protect these people here, but also keep the Russians away from the other oblasts that are just on the other side of this. Even if there were a ceasefire and like give up Donetsk Oblast, right? Like it creates a line, and then they're just ready to go into the next oblast when they will, and they will. Seeing those smokestacks and things, seeing the roads further and further back being ready for FPV, seeing roads that wouldn't normally be fixed because they're not really, like it's like small access roads and stuff, and seeing those being heavily built and fortified right now and like repaved or just like at least being graded and stuff, that is key indicators to me where the war is going.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, and it makes it, it's a kind of an ominous feeling, because it's just like, you know, last year I'm in Kharkiv and watching Kharkiv go away, evacuating people as a volunteer at Ukrainians, which is just above it, and then I was in Pokrovsk, and now that is like just a battlefield, and watching these places like slow that you spend so much time in and training and all these things, and just slowly getting taken away from us and becoming even if we are returned to these spaces in this moment, they will never be the spaces in which they were when they were fully in Ukrainian hands. And even if they were returned to Bakhmut and all these things, and many people said like, well, maybe we could get the land back, but it will never be that home that I had into
the community
area.
takes like centuries to build as well.
Yeah, and these, it's awful.
Throughout the night, sounds of explosions in the distance intensified. The next morning we woke up to head to Kramatorsk.
Yeah, this was going on all night. I think there's basically like a new assault or something happening. It's really hard to gauge, but I woke up at around 8 o'clock this morning and it was every 20 seconds.
Yeah. A local soldier drives us towards Kramatorsk.
Oh, hey. Yeah, thanks for meeting again. Really cool. I guess we have a mutual friend. What? This morning is loud. What is going on?
Controlled air bombs. Usually they drop the bombs, it goes straight down. The controlled bombs, they're with the wings.
Yeah.
And once they drop it, they can still fly around 20-30 kilometers.
Every hour, air raid sirens rain out over the city. 2 years ago, I used to go to a restaurant called Ria in the center of Kramatorsk. I called it the shelter in the storm after long days filming in Chasiv Yar. I wanted to visit the aftermath and show just the type of evil that Russia unleashes on civilians.
Yeah, so these were shops that I was going into. It was a really amazing restaurant where the owner, the manager used to help set up. Helped us get a tire. It's just here. I just wanted to stop and look for a second if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still here. Fuck. Okay, I have lots of videos of me in here, laughing with John Sweeney and hanging out.
I think they're firing from the petrol station.
You said it's safer than the petrol station because of the roof.
By the way, why haven't you covered that?
This was the bar where you could buy the shisha. And then this was the restaurant. Oh my god. And then downstairs was the kitchen. It was an S-300 missile, surface-to-air missile, designed to take out airplanes and battleships. It's not even made for buildings, and they used it in a building full of people having dinner.
What a baby I've met today.
We just been shelled.
We just got shelled. Oh fuck. In Kramatorsk.
There's a clock and a half.
Horrible.
I'm showing you this because Russia denies targeting civilians. And if you watch NBC News 3 weeks ago, they interviewed Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov.
Mr. Foreign Minister, welcome to Meet the Press.
We never target civilian sites. That we only attack the sites which are directly involved in the Ukrainian military machine. We know this.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, thank you so very much for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
And this flies in the face of everything that Russia denies. Despite Russians trying to wipe out every form of life in Kramatorsk, people still carry on. Just 2 minutes down the road from here, a new pizzeria has just opened up, and its 3 staff, all under 16 years old, wanted to share with us why they stayed.
Я вам мотивацію, ще далі жити, ще далі посміхатися, хоч такі обставини.
Вера.
Faith.
Страшно.
Страшно.
Страшно за родных, за друзей. Просто страшно очень сильно. Страшно
Некуда
потерять
выехать.
жизнь.
Яка ваша найбільша надія на майбутнє?
Чтобы закончилась война, я построила свое будущее в Украине.
Чтобы россияне кровли умылись. Чтобы просто закончилась война, чтобы все жили в мире. Потому что Война уже, если честно, надоела. Ни дети, ни гражданские, никто не может жить нормально из-за этого. Не зависит от обстоятельств. Будь это плохо, хорошо, но надо радоваться.
Главное,
Чему что
чтобы
есть.
живые, родные были.
Да.
Ну, я этому радуюсь, потому что я это пережил.
Я извиняюсь, мне нужно идти выносить заказ.
The unbreakable morale of Ukrainian civilians living under constant fire is remarkable. Kramatorsk is a city where life always continues. Passing through, we meet a local volunteer who dedicates her time to give psychological support to soldiers, and she tells me what motivates them the most.
Часу ми збираємо такі різні листи від дітей на свята і не тільки, роздаємо нашим військовослужбовцям для того, щоб підтримувати їх певний такий настрій, підтримувати їх стійкість, їх моральний стан. І такі от малюночки, вони завжди дарують якусь посмішку, якісь спогади, якісь мрії, вони нас окриляють і допомагають далі рухатись. Бо, можливо, це питання, чи знижується наша мотивація, пов'язано більше з настроєм, тому що, да, ми втомлюємось, да, нам важко, але от такі певні цінності, от такі моменти, вони заряджають, і ми все одно далі йдемо і не зупиняємось. Ой, звідки? Тут взагалі зібрані різноманітні. Від Каті Лук'янової. Ви найкращі, ЗСУ, ми в вас віримо. Поділки від наших діточок. Від Артема 7 рочків. Слава Україні, героям слава. Від Артема 7 рочків. Є різні листівочки. Тут, до речі, є просто слава героям. Дякуємо, що ви є в нас. І Україна – голуб космічної сили, мабуть, означає. І таких взагалі дуже багато. Але ми більше любимо ось цю. Найулюбленіше, мабуть, оця картинка – це потяг до перемоги. Це така наша одна єдина така мрія, яка об'єднує. І взагалі завжди дивимося, і ми як рахуємо, чекаємо, коли вже це нарешті настане, і розуміємо, що з кожним днем ми просто наближаємось до цього.
I came back to the Donbas for 2 reasons. To show you what's next, the Russians' new tactics, the motorbikes, the assaults that will crash against the lines in weeks ahead. But more than that, I came here to show you the truth. Because on Russian television and now on American networks, they say the Donbas is not a place worth fighting for. They say it doesn't even exist. They say it's Russian.
These are Russian territories, that there are referendums within these territories that justify these actions.
But every soldier I spoke to here, every volunteer, every civilian I met, proves the opposite. They're not here because of politics or propaganda. They're here because it's their home, their soil.
I mean, the whole Ukraine fight is really about American values. It really has so much in common with America, because what we do is we stand our ground, we protect our family, and we literally fight for our freedom.
It is very lonely and it's very hard. I do this, it's a choice. I find happiness in my soldiers.
Потому что Путин хуйло.
Нахожусь здесь, участвую в этой войне ради наших будущих поколений. Потому что я понимаю, что если мы сейчас это не остановим, это будет продолжаться, и оно будет идти дальше. Не только в Украине, но и дальше в Европе и везде.
Вера.
Тому я маю тут бути, я маю захищати родину, сім'ю, батьківщину. Я цим пишаюсь, я пишаюсь своими побратимами.
Наше поколение последующее жили в мире.
Я не могу смотреть, как наши дома разрушаются, как наши дети погибают, семьи рушатся. Поэтому я пошел защищать свою Украину.
Це наша земля і наш дім. Тут живе наша сім'я. Це потяг до перемоги.
Hey, thank you so much for watching this documentary. If you enjoyed it, then please hit subscribe, please hit like. It really helps the algorithm. And if you want to directly help support Ukraine, I've just teamed up with April to get 2 all-terrain buggies to the front. April knows better than anyone else I know exactly what soldiers need right now. And that is help with evacuations and help with delivering essential supplies to the front. And that's what these buggies are. They're about $18,000 each. They're quite expensive, but they're incredibly well made. And they're
vital for keeping people alive, people like the soldiers you watched in this documentary. So if you enjoyed this film, again, and you want more people to see it, please leave a comment, hit subscribe. But also, if you want to directly help soldiers, your donations would be tax deductible, and it's all done through a very transparent organization, Spirit of Ukraine, so you can see exactly where your money is going. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. It means the world, and hopefully you can help this campaign with April as well. Thanks again.